Good morning, home builders. It is day 87, and this is called Don't Waste the Young Years. I think for a lot of us, the older we get, and most of us are still pretty young, but the older we get, we realize that there is certainly a sliding scale on how productive we are, how much potential that we have in our efforts, that diminishes as we get older, and it's it's a pretty big deal to be able to teach our children that no matter how young they are, it's time to serve the Lord, and we should not be wasting our youngest, our best, our most energetic years. That basically to say that it's not time to do what we want when we're younger and then time to serve the Lord once we're older. The verse for today is from Ecclesiastes chapter 12, verses 1 and 2. And it's a fantastic piece of wisdom. And keep in mind, Ecclesiastes is a work by Solomon as he's looking back on his life and the wisdom that he's gained throughout his life. Proverbs is wisdom that comes more from the prime of his life. Ecclesiastes is, I believe, it comes right kind of in between that prime of Solomon's life where he's the wisest man to ever live, etc., and then the fall of his life toward the end. It kind of sits right there in between those two periods. That's what I believe. But the tone of it is certainly a looking back type of wisdom, things that he's learned by living his life, and we would do well to take that wisdom and take instruction from it. Don't waste the younger years. Now, how do we do this? Well, we need to take our children along with us in what we do, primarily in serving the Lord, but really in other things as well. Sometimes that's hard. Sometimes it's hard to think about and organize an activity or some manner of labor and find something for a young child to do. We know that we can do things more effectively, more efficiently, if it's just us doing them a lot of times. Bringing a child along is a burden. There's a cost to it. It may cost us some time, may cost us some frustration. It may cost us having to redo things behind them because they don't have the experience and they don't do things as well the first time as someone who's older who has done them before. But that's the only way that they can learn. It's funny that just last night I took Gideon with me. I have become acutely aware that it is important now to bring him along with me in many of the things that I do that typically I wouldn't bring a 6-year-old along with me for. But I know that there's some small things that I can do to help him. We were cutting up wood and carrying wood over to make a fire for Man Cave last night. And it was going to be pretty cold. We needed a pretty good fire. And there was a tree that had fallen down and I needed to cut that up. Did I have him running the chainsaw? No. But did I have him dragging some of the small limbs that came off of the tree and dragging them over to the fire pit and breaking them into small sticks and throwing them in the fire? Yeah. That was a perfect job for him, and he could help and he could get satisfaction from it and he could learn. While we were building the fire, I was teaching him about the necessary elements of a fire, spark and fuel and oxygen, and teaching him how fire works and teaching him, how to build a proper fire and things like that. So, will he retain that this time? I don't know. He might. Will he use that in the future? I hope so. But just the fact that when I went out after dinner to be working on that and took him with me, taught him, how there is something that he can do, and there is something that he can do in work. And it's no different with our service to the Lord. I mean, that work is no different. We take our children along with us. I've taken my children along with us if we're visiting people, if it's feasible. When we're dropping off something to someone else, if it's a meal train or something, taking care of an elderly person, we'll take the children along with us. They need to see it. They need to be a part of it. They need to see how it works, and they get to know our folks. They get to know our people, and then our people love on them, and it's just a kind of a cyclical effect. But they learn the value of serving the Lord, and they learn the fact that there is something that they can do, even at their young age. So I hope we remember this. We are on the home stretch. There's only 3 more days left in this Bible study, and we'll finish it out in the next couple days. So everyone have a good day. Love you, and I'll see you at the Wednesday night service.